Hi everyone, and welcome back to 417 Fox. Before we get started today on this really, well, I think it's a pretty cool video. I wasn't even planning on doing it, but we'll get to that in a minute. I did want to say, hey, thank you guys for subscribing, liking, thumbs up, all that stuff, commenting on the video, sharing the videos. It really means the world to me. I've been doing this YouTube thing now for what, 3 to 4 years, and never thought, heck, my channel would even though my channel is very small, would even be as big as it is. So thank you guys very much. I love that you get the guys to come hang out with me, and it kind of feels like we're just all family right here and getting to work on our projects together. So that's what this is all about. So guys, I was getting ready to install the fuel tank for my Coyote Swap today, getting ready to put it back in, and actually, if I get time, I'm actually going to go ahead and get the motor stuck in here today. That would be a separate video though. And really, if you guys have been watching along with the channel, if you hadn't, you can go back and look at the playlist for the Coyote Swap videos. I started this whole journey a couple of years ago and started collecting parts, bought the Coyote, and the whole premise was I really wanted an affordable, well, as affordable as possible Coyote Swap. Now, we all know that could be all over the place, and we talk budgets, and budget's really subjective, but when I say affordable for me, what's affordable for me might not be affordable for you. And so that's why we talk budgets. So, well, somebody might have a $50,000 budget, somebody might have a $10,000 budget, but really I wanted a quality Coyote Swap without breaking the bank, and that's kind of also why this is. So I do want to cite the video that I got this idea from, and it's not like it was new info there, but PC Palin is the guy that I had watched a couple of years ago and then collected this stuff, and he's done a lot of Coyote Swaps using this very setup. So we know it's a tried and true setup. And let's just get right into it. So guys, how in the world can you do a fuel system for a Coyote Swap for around 200 bucks? Well, it's a lot easier than you think. With my Coyote Swap, I'm keeping it NA. And actually, I think Ford says, was it like 170 or 160 something LPH liter per hour fuel pump is significant enough for a Coyote Swap. I'm actually went with a Carter 255. And I know a lot of guys go 340. That's really overkill for an NA, in my opinion. Now, if you're going to want to run E85 or something like that, I think Aeromotive has a E85 specific 340 pump. I'm not really planning on doing that. I'm just going to keep the car. Because, I mean, look, yes, so could we squeeze another 25 horsepower out of the motor with a tune with E85? Yes, but for me, and the way I drive a car, really an NA tuned on a normal pump gas is more than enough for me to have plenty of fun in this car. So there's other ways, and of course you can modify what I'm doing here, but let's kind of go into the parts and the pieces to really talk about a $200 fuel system. All right guys, so we'll start here at the fuel tank. This is the stock sending unit. This is a 1/4 inch, and then this is a 5/16 send 1/4 inch return. I bought these fittings right here off of Summit. In hindsight, I wished I would have bought the back black ones, but you're not going to see most of them anyway. But regardless, you can get them in either black or this blue anodized finish. These are pre-made lines. I know you can make your own, but I'd just rather get the pre-made, and then I have a little more confidence in them not leaking, but I know you can totally make your own lines. So we'll get in right here. So I get these fittings. I'll give a screenshot of each one. I think one of these was like 11 bucks or 12 bucks, and the other one was like $9. So they're adapter fittings, they work just fine. And then both of these are 2-foot hoses. So this is a C6 regulator and filter. Of course, it's very, very similar, and it will mount right into the stock location that your normal fuel filter goes in the Foxbody. Now they actually, and in hindsight, I wish I would have bought one that I already had it. I don't think I seen it on Summit when I ordered this one from Summit. I'll put a screenshot of both, but really I've ran the math. And even though you can get one of these that already has the AN fittings on it, I did not. I used the adapters, and by the time you buy the adapters, you save $2 by buying the adapters and getting the pump like I have here. So I'll put a screenshot of both of them, but really, in my mind, less adapters is less opportunity for stuff to leak, and really by the time you do all that, it's not really worth the $2 that you're going to save. So we got this, which is, I think this was like, if you do it with the AN ends already on there for the AN-6 ends, this is, I think it was $65. So this is $65. And then, of course, these fittings are like $9 a piece. These 2-foot lines, these AN-6 lines are, I think these were $25 a piece, so you got $50 there. The long line, so you've got your return line right here at the back of the car, so that means there's no need to run 2 lines all the way up to the front. And this is already regulated for 58 psi, which will be perfect for the Coyote. 55 to 60 psi is going to be right in that range of what the Coyote is going to want anyway. So I'm not putting a regulator up in the engine bay of the car. I'm going to stick with this right here. It'll be a little cleaner install, and one less thing that I got to run lines for and put up into the engine bay or somewhere else in the engine bay where you can regulate your pressures. This is already regulated, already filtered. We got a 14-foot line. I'll put a screenshot of that. This line here was like, I think, $77. So this is plenty enough to get to there. The fittings come in these little boxes like this. So by the time you take your lines, we're using our stock sender. I've got a Carter 255 that I picked up from Rock Auto. I think the pump was like 32 bucks, okay? So 32 bucks, you got 50 bucks for those, 10, 10, 10, 10. So we'll add all this up, and I will put a part number for everything in the description for this video. And let's walk over to the motor. Of course, the only thing you're going to need for the motor is take your 14-foot line and collect right here. And this is a 3/8 adapter line. I think they call them a quick connect line. It's a 2-piece line, tightens up together, and you've got a secure fill line connection right here. So guys, I think that's pretty simple. I mean, by the time you take all these fittings, so let's just count, let's add this up, okay? Let's start right here at the fuel tank with the fuel pump. I picked it up off of Rock Auto. It's a Carter 255. It's $32, okay? Fits right in the stock sending unit. Had to wire that up, already got it installed. Then you got your 2 adapters that you're gonna need to put on the on your sending unit. So that's with both those together, because one is 9 and one is 12. So we got $21 there for both those fittings. So we got 32 and 21. Then you've got both of your fuel lines that are 2 foot each. One's the send, one's the return, and those are going to be $50 for both of them combined. Then we get to our main line, which is 14 foot, that's going to run all the way up to the front, and that is $77 at Summit. Now you might can find them cheaper elsewhere, but it is a quality Russel line, so I didn't kind of cheap out on some of that stuff. So the filter regulator combo, it's actually from a C6 Corvette, and it is rated at 58 psi. So that is already regulated to the pressure that I'm going to need. And those were with the ones with the AN already on each end. Those are $65. The one without, they're $36. But you save $2 if you got to go buy all those fittings. I guess if you got the fittings laying around and you're not using them, you can buy the regulator filter for 36 bucks. And then if you already got the fittings, then hey, you save some more money. And then of course the last part is that last fitting, and it's going to be another $9. So really guys, for $222 you can have this complete fuel system. And if you really want to go cheaper than that, really you can adapt and keep your stock fuel lines for an NA Coyote. I just went ahead and opted to go ahead and change the lines out and get rid of the stock fuel lines, so I didn't have to do adapters and all that stuff up at the front. So with all that being said, 222 bucks with the AN style fitting on the filter regulator, at 220 bucks if you buy all the adapters like what I showed here. But at the end of the day, guys, that's a pretty inexpensive and effective system for doing your fuel system in your Coyote. So not a long video, guys. I did want to bring that to you right before I got ready to install this in the car. And I appreciate you guys watching, and stick around. The next video, I'm going to be stabbing this Coyote in the car. So see you on that one.